Welcome to Co-Work Radio here on KZSB 1290 AM. I'm Catherine Raymock.
And I'm Jane Walker-Wood.
And we're a show all about the modern entrepreneur. Each week we interview company founders. We want to thank our sponsors, Impact Hub of Santa Barbara, Montecito Bank and Trust, commercial realtor Rob Hamilton, and Radius Group as well.
Paul Fiorilla is here with us today. Paul is Director of Research at Yardi Systems, and he has authored a really interesting new study on co-working.
Yeah, we were both just reading over it, and some fascinating things about it we will be sharing with you. He'll be calling in from the East Coast. Also, Diana Periera is here. She's the founder of Balance Financial Management. It's essentially a full-service back-office consulting company that does payroll and HR and for businesses and nonprofits, and with an emphasis on giving back to the community. So we're excited about talking to her, though. First, we're going to take a look at some business news, and we'll talk locally at first and see how far we get with this. We do want you to know that the countdown for financial help from FEMA is going on, and if you suffered any damage from the Thomas Fire Montecito mudslide, that deadline is March 16th. FEMA representatives have actually been going door to door. They're also available at the Montecito Center on Coast Village Circle, which I know you want to talk a little bit about to help residents there with paperwork. If you want to get a hold of FEMA at an 800 number, it's 1-800-621-3321.
Yeah, the Montecito Recovery Center that Catherine just mentioned is now open. This is a one-stop location for all your answers, questions, and needs relating to rebuilding Montecito after the mudslide. And also on business and the slide is there's a new report that quantifies the huge costs on Santa Barbara due to these slides and the shutdown of the 101. Business loss is about $15 million in sales so far, and Santa Barbara County officials estimate loss of property values at more than $1.5 billion. And that'll be losses of about $14 million a year, mostly to the schools and other local public agencies.
Yeah, we'll see where they're going to try to make some of that up, especially with the schools and the impact on other nonprofits, perhaps in Santa Barbara. And we'll be chatting about that, I'm sure, for some time to come. I did talk to somebody at the drop-in center there on Coast Village Circle. By the way, they're open from 10 to 3 every day. They've got evening hours on Wednesday from 6 to 8 o'clock, and then on Saturdays they're open for abbreviated hours from 10 to 2. But mental wellness just got a grant from FEMA, and they've hired 14 counselors. They just all went through the FEMA training, and they are actually going out in groups of 2. They're also available at the center, but they're going out to places like Starbucks and the library and just meeting people and talking to them. So I thought it was...
I'll look forward to that. There's also a new pop-up recovery store in Montecito so that victims of the mudslide can rebuild their closet. And that's in the Montecito Country Mart near Vaughn's. And they're also accepting donations of clothing.
Okay. Did you hear that Katy Perry has a show?
I heard it, and I'm not here, and I'm devastated.
Okay, so Katy Perry is bringing her show to Santa Barbara, unheard of, but she's doing this as a benefit for the relief efforts. Local residents only can purchase these tickets when they first go on sale. That is tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I can pretty much guarantee you there are people camped out right now at the Santa Barbara Bowl.
I was at a dinner last night, and people were talking about camping out.
Oh, well, do you know anybody that's about babysitter age? Because I know some people that want to hire some people to sit in line.
No, this is like a 60-year-old man who's camping out.
Oh, okay. By the way, for her, the support is going to go to Cold Spring School and 805 undocufund.katy. That is where she says it's going. So I'll have to find out a little bit more about that. But again, the benefit for the community, this is probably one of the smallest venues that she'll be playing.
For a a while, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, she did start playing in church, so that was probably a little smaller.
By the way, if you're not local, and for some reason there are still some tickets left, which I very much doubt, they'll go online to the public on tomorrow at 7 p.m.
I think some of them are going to first responders, too, the tickets. So now, Montecito Inn is reopened, and for those of you who are not local, this inn was founded by Charlie Chaplin in 1918, so that's 100 years old, and it now has the only Tesla charging station in Montecito because Four Seasons Biltmore is closed, and that's free for patrons.
And do you have any other local news before I head on to some national news, if you have anything that has to do with the...
One thing. Richie Ramirez has won the Santa Barbara Young Professional of the Year Award. And if you'd like to listen to an interview with Richie the Barber, you can go to our website at coworkradio.com.
All right, I thought this was interesting from Amazon this week. They are offering a new perk to some of their customers. They are launching a discounted Prime membership to people that are on Medicaid. So it's a new fee, $5.99 a month. That's about $30 less than the usual fee. And they're offering a discount, another way for Amazon to draw in low-income shoppers, which they've wanted to do, and take them away from rival Walmart.
You know what's great about that, though, is if you're a Prime member, you also get the free movies, assuming you have a smart TV, so then you can dump your Netflix account. Speaking of the Walmart-Amazon war, Walmart is now offering same-day grocery home delivery in 1,000 cities.
I saw that. Yeah, they're starting to really expand there. All right, we'll have more business news later. Right now, though, we're going to take a brief break here. After the break, UCSB professor and business author John Greathouse is going to be here, and we're going to focus on Women's Month this month, and he's got some great entrepreneurial stories that I believe he'll be sharing with us. A reminder, you're listening to Cowork Radio here on KZSB 1290 AM. You can follow us on social media, and thank you once again to Impact Hub, Montecito Bank and Trust, and we will be right back.
What's that?
This? The newest online business banking around.
Can you initiate wires and approve transfers?
Yes.
Pay bills?
Check.
Cash management?
Of course.
All business, all online, all on your phone.
You bet. My computer, too. It's Montecito Bank and Trust's new business online banking. It works as hard as I do.
Huh. Montecito Bank and Trust.
You got it. Montecito Bank and Trust. Behind every great community is a great bank. Montecito.bank. Member FDIC.
Great timepieces begin their existence as testaments to incredible craftsmanship and the highest standards of quality. Exceptional watches are individually assembled, polished and regulated by hand. They are the embodiment of a dedication to perfection. They begin as a crafted work of art and immediately become heirlooms for future generations. When you choose a timepiece made by Cartier, Breitling, Baume & Mercier, Patek Philippe, you're selecting a watch instantly recognizable for value, uncompromised quality, incredible beauty. And it's from Bryant & Sons. If you're considering acquiring a distinguished timepiece for a gift or for yourself, visit us at Bryant & Sons and let us show you what makes these world-renowned brands so remarkable. Bryant & Sons, California's premier jeweler, the exclusive home of many of the world's finest timepieces. 812 State Street in downtown Santa Barbara and the Upper Village in Montecito.
Hi, it's Catherine Raymock. Are you buying or selling a home? See Compass Realtor Terry Ryken. I went to Terry because of his reputation and experience, but was quickly taken by his genuine enthusiasm. It's that combination that truly sets him apart. Terry specializes in properties in Montecito, Hope Ranch, Santa Barbara, and Santa Ynez Valley, and has 39 years of experience as an agent and broker. There are so many realtors to choose from, but only one Terry Ryken. Find out for yourself. Google search Terry Ryken.
Welcome back to Cowork Radio. I'm Jane Walker-Wood.
And I'm Catherine Raymock.
And we are here with UCSB professor and prolific business author, John Greathouse. And if you want to send John some questions, email askjohn@coworkradio. And you can listen to it on our website, iTunes, iHeart, and YouTube. How you doing, John?
I'm doing awesome. How about you?
Oh, great. Of course, this is Women's History Month.
It is.
I'm just curious, do you have any stories that have to do, and I'd love to hear if women are different kind of entrepreneurs than men, but do you have stories about women entrepreneurs?
Well, I do, and I love to tell these to my UC Santa Barbara students because we tend to know that a handful of women entrepreneurs, and they're wonderful women, but we only know a smaller number, and it's sort of the Oprahs, Sarah Blakely's. It's the same names, which, again, I love those people. But so I try to bring other stories into my classroom, and one of my favorite stories is Martha Harper. And what you find out about Martha is, like many women, what she ended up creating was just out of necessity. She was forced to take a different path because in her day and age, she didn't have a choice. So just quickly, a lot of people haven't heard of Martha, so I'll give you a very quick rundown of what happened with her. She was actually rented out by her parents as a servant at the age of 7. This was not unusual. It would have been about late 1870s. So again, it wasn't slavery. She was Caucasian, but that time period, just children were chattel, and you could do it.
Abraham Lincoln was rented out.
You could do it, yeah. So but fortunately for her, mentors matter in life, and she was so lucky to basically clean the home of a doctor who took an interest in her. Obviously saw she was bright. He could see that this young, uneducated girl was not an idiot. And he actually took some time with her and taught her a little bit about physiology. She would ask questions, and he would answer those questions. And she found out she was really interested in hair care. What is hair? How does it work? How do you work with hair? She decided that she wanted to be one of only 17 women to enter the paid workforce and try to control her own destiny. That was in 1890.
When you say 17 women, you mean
17%.
17%.
70% of women were paid in the workforce. They all worked in some regard, but only 17%. And she was one of the few that wanted to control her economic destiny. She didn't want to be beholden to a man. So she finds herself 31 years old. She's a maid, and again, she's had no formal education. She had saved $360, which is a fortune, and considering how little she was paid. Her life savings, she took it to Rochester, New York, and she opened the first public hair salon. Now, that sounds not revolutionary at all, but what you have to realize that in the 1800s, only wealthy people had their hair done, in quotes, and it was always done in the home. Like the thought of having someone wash your hair in public was scandalous.
Well, there wasn't the access to hot water like we have now.
Exactly, and cleanliness wasn't the issue, wasn't like it is today. But just that idea of doing that in public was sort of scandalous. Like you don't wash people's hair and cut it in public. And she felt like, no, I'm going to try to bring a new service to women. And she had to sue the landlord to allow him to rent the building to her because she didn't have a man to sign the lease. And she found a nice male lawyer that stood beside her and said, no, you will give this woman a lease. So she had to do that. Her business was totally failing, despite her, vim and vigor and her work ethic. But she got lucky again, but she played off that luck. So she ended up, just by happenstance, renting. Her hair salon was right next door to a music teacher. So the women that would drop their children off for music lessons would do what? Well, they would kind of just stand around, mill about. This was in Rochester, it's cold. And so she would invite them in. And she would just say, have a seat. And then, because you got to remember, again, having your nails done, your hair done was not something people did. And then she would say, do you mind if I practice on you? Can I do your nails? And slowly but surely, she got them comfortable with having their hair, quote, done and having their nails done. And that whole premise of a barbershop / hair salon becoming a place for people to come and share and kind of gossip and talk really started with Martha.
That's an incredible story.
So she could have looked at this and said, she's women wouldn't mill about the front of my store, like I'm trying to get customers. But instead, she invited them in. She got them comfortable.
Then they were addicted.
They became customers, right? So anyway, that would be a fun little story if that's kind of where it ended. But Martha had bigger plans for herself and for other women than that. And so she decided that she wanted to give other women the same power that she had, because now she was making some money and she could call her own shots. And so she teamed up with women all over the country so that they could open their own salons. And what she did was something revolutionary. She franchised the idea. So before that, everyone, when they expanded, would just open another salon. They would own it, they would hire somebody, and they would pay them a salary. She said, no, I want you to own it. I'll give you the skincare products, the hair care products. I'll train you. I'll teach you. She actually invented the shampoo chair, like the chair that tilts back. Yeah. And she didn't patent it because she wanted other women to use that patent. That would have been a very valuable patent for her.
Had anybody franchised before?
No. The idea, the history is sort of a little bit checkered there. There's some people that will claim other models were, quote, she was the first that really was looking out for the franchisee. What was the name of it? It got to be over 500 salons. I think it was just called Martha Harper Studios and Martha Harper. She had if you Google her, she had hair down to her feet. She literally did.
Of course, she was 4'8".
And she probably was, in that day, she probably was about 4 feet tall.
That would, I'm actually thinking what a great movie that would make.
It would make a good movie.
It really would.